Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Hardy. I am originally from Kurdistan region of Iraq, and I moved to the United States in 2016, which is almost kind of close to 6 years since I moved here. Of course, I was old enough when I moved to the United States. I came from an educational background. I used to be a teacher, and I taught for almost like 6 years teaching schools. And of course I've worked with multiple companies and even corporations in different fields and skills back home. I used to work with oil companies. In the meantime, I used to work with international NGOs and humanitarian agencies, including United Nations, helping refugees and immigrants. And so that was all about me. I've had multiple experiences in my resume with educational background that I studied bachelor. So my undergrad was in English language and literature. That was all about my background. I mean, life has changed, the situation has changed. So there was a time that I had to leave the country and move to the United States. Then I moved here, and as you can see, I'm married, have 2 kids. I'm husband, dad, 2 kids, and doing works and worked hard to kind of build up the resume that I used to have. But then after I moved to the United States, I have tried, and I came with a kind of feeling that my resume, my background, everything that I had in the past might be enough to kind of rejoin the market in the United States. But things didn't go like this. I have had my resume and I applied for so many jobs. I've tried hard, different states, different cities. I've tried a lot of networks, but still it wasn't enough to get the job that I used to work with, or the dream job that I was looking for. And then I realized that the market, however, the market is huge, but still the competitive is still very high, is very serious. Then I said maybe because I don't have any educational background from this country. And then I went back to school. I paid a lot of money to get my master's degree here in the United States in HR field. But again, to be honest, it wasn't still enough to kind of win the competition. The market is still very competitive, and the demand from the market is also different than the mindset, or let's say than the market I used to grow up with. I tried to kind of change my career, but it wasn't easy for me with the kind of age and educational background and everything that I had in the past. Start learning another skill from scratch. Then I was kind of tired from school, and I was tired financially to spend a huge amount of money just getting or starting another career from scratch. I was always looking for a hope to be able to change my career as soon as possible, and just could help me to adapt the new market in the US, or the market demand in the US. Time passed, and I was still looking for that, opportunity. But then suddenly and of course I have made a lot of connections between friends like me who've been in the same situation, just trying to know how we can just kind of pass this kind of a situation where we are not happy about what we were doing with the kind of educational background, certificate qualifications. We're still doing very simple work that everyone could do it even without any qualifications. Then I was fortunate that I found a friend of mine who used to be in the same situation where I was, and he told me that there are still opportunities that would help you to build that kind of experience from scratch. And that was the time that I realized that I should attend one of those boot camps. And for me, RenasTech was that hope that I found it in a short time, which was like only 6 months. And I've started with scratch, or let's say from scratch, with this kind of a boot camp. Everything was like kind of strange from the beginning, but then things got more interesting after, day after day, and course after course, class after class. Just going back to the RenasTech, the new opportunity, or let's say the new hope that started, was it was more like technical part that I never used to have that skill in my previous work experiences. That's true. I've used computers just like any ordinary user. I've used computer to manage my work, to kind of adapt the work environment. But I've never been a technical part to kind of fix technical issues, or to have focus only on IT part. But then I thought that might be impossible, and I was thinking about, for me to be professional in this field, I have to go back to bachelor level, study 4 years, and then back to college 2 years, and then going back to university. And I was thinking about long journey to be qualified in IT field or in software field. But then with RenasTech, I would say that those impossible things became possible in only 6 months. I could start from scratch, and I could learn in a very short period as much as that people could learn from universities in 4 years or even more. That's just because those people are professional and they know exactly what you should be taught, and they know what is the market demand for that specific field to become an SDET engineer, of course, software development testing engineer. And I've learned all the skills and let's say competencies that an SDET engineer needs to learn for the market. And I would say that what I have learned so far from RenasTech is more than enough to kind of find a job that I couldn't dream about, because I thought it might be a long journey, it might cost me a lot. And with my situation, having a job, taking care of family, having little kids at home, a lot of social connections, stuff like this, I thought I would never have that opportunity to go through that journey to become an SDET engineer. But like I said, impossible things can be possible when you find the right person, a right place, a right program to study. And for me, I'm grateful to say that RenasTech was that right place that could change my career from scratch to a level that I would call even not advanced, but it's just as equal as to someone who have been in the market for at least 5 or 6 years. So basically I have started with the journey learning software language or software engineering testing. So I have started, and with kind of hesitation, to be honest. From the beginning, I said, okay, I'll start, but maybe it's not doable for me because I'm married, I have 2 kids, I have work, and this is kind of totally new subject for me. But to be honest, it wasn't like this. The way they have designed the program was very easy to learn everything. However, you have other things to do, as within the family and responsibilities and work and everything couldn't stop me from learning. My whole journey started in less than a year, within 6 months, to be honest. Started from scratch with everything that I have mentioned, responsibilities, being a dad, working, having little kids at home during the pandemic, but still I could do it, and I've learned a lot, and now I'm ready for market. And to be honest, when I look at the job description and requirements, I feel like I have everything that I need for the job, and I feel like there's nothing can stop me from getting the job as soon as possible. Thank you for listening to my journey, and I wish you all the best, and I hope those who haven't been through this journey will be through it soon.